Space, the final conquest. These are the voyages of the starship Enterprise. Its continuing mission: to discover and subjugate strange new worlds, to advance our dominion and vanquish all who stand against us, to conquer the galaxy for the glory of the Empire.
Captain's log, stardate 4291.6. Chief Engineer Scott reports maintenance checks on the main transporter room are proceeding.
All right, Mr. Kyle, let's try it again. We'll find what caused that wee glitch if it takes from now to Hogmanay. By the numbers now.
Yes, sir. Running diagnostics on circuits A23 through 50. Again. Is there a problem, Mr. Scott? It was my understanding that you would be finished by now.
Aye, and I was sure we would be, Mr. Spock. But this wee gremlin won't come out of hiding. It's an elusive rascal. If I didn't know better, I'd swear it was something that came from outside the ship. I don't suppose we're passing nearby any ion storms or the like that I haven't been told about.
I am not aware of any such phenomena of which you have not been fully briefed. In fact, the region of space through which we are presently travelling is remarkably undistinguished. I suggest you abandon your gremlin hunt.
Not just yet, Mr. Spock. Come along, Mr. Kyle. We'll have a look at the main junctions. It worked. Settings are just as Scott predicted. Now, all I need is...
Captain?
Huh?
Were you looking for Mr. Scott, sir? He's at the main transporter circuit junction. He sent me back to make sure the settings were all as they need to be for...
Did I ask? What difference does it make to me? What?
Sorry. I seem to be in a bad mood today. Kyle, isn't it? Yes, I was looking for Mr. Scott, and now I know where I can find him. I'll be on my way. Yes, sir.
Jim, got a minute?
1 minute.
Have you talked to Spock today? Outside the line of duty, I mean.
No. Is there a reason I should have? Other than the two of you being friends, you mean?
But you haven't spoken to him? You haven't noticed anything odd about him today? As if he's distracted? As if he has something on his mind? Doesn't he always have something on his mind? And noticing something odd about a Vulcan is redundant. Your minute is up, Doctor, and I have important matters to attend to. Did everybody get up on the wrong side of the bunk this morning?
Captain's log supplemental. On course, on schedule for arrival at planet La Rocca, KT-88.
You were looking for me, Captain.
Looking for you, Scotty? No, but I was wondering when I could expect your report on the finished job. Mr. Spock seems to be concerned about it.
Aye, he was just in the transporter room himself. But Mr. Kyle told me you were there too, a few minutes ago, looking for me.
No, Engineer, I've been right here for the past hour and a half. When did Kyle say I was in the transporter room?
No more than 10 minutes ago, sir.
Transporter malfunction? Me being seen where I'm not? This is starting to sound disturbingly familiar. Mr. Chekhov, go to the science station and run an internal scan. Let's have the computers tell us where I am.
Yes, Captain. Scanning. Reading you here on the bridge, Captain. Nowhere else.
Current crew complement is 427. Do a head count.
Computing. Captain, 429.
9. There are 2 more aboard than should be.
And with no ID tags.
But Captain, how can that be? It's been more than 12 days since we took on any passengers, or even cargo, that a stowaway might have hidden in. We'll find out how when we find out who and where, Lieutenant. Order security to initiate a full manual search of the ship. Have them report as each deck is cleared. Aye, aye, Captain.
Security 7, Deck 9, clear.
Security 3, Deck 15, clear.
Security 1, Deck 7, clear.
Security 4, Deck 12, clear.
Security 5, Deck 2, clear.
All decks reporting clear, Captain. No sign of any intruders. So, well, hidden. Did you call Mr. Spock to the bridge? Yes, sir, twice. He has not responded. Sir, according to the internal scan, Mr. Spock is in his quarters, asleep. Spock. Spock, are you there? Spock. Spock. Cannot answer you, Captain. Forgive the phaser pistol. It is necessary we talk before you attempt to raise an alarm. All right, talk. Start with who you are. It has only been a few weeks, Captain. Has the shaving of my beard rendered me unrecognizable? Captain? Was there something you needed, sir? Lieutenant Masters, I was looking for a little time on my own. Didn't think anyone would be in auxiliary control, but Captain, you were at this morning's briefing when Mr. Scott asked me to find time today to check the... Yes, of course. Let's take a look at it together, shall we? You know, I like to be very hands-on in the running of my ship, yes. Very hands-on. There. You just sleep for a while, since that's all we have time for. Now, with all the pleasant distractions out of the way, a quick signal on a specific frequency. And if everything is still going according to plan, Mr. Sulu, I just detected an unauthorized signal, scrambled and on an odd frequency, but definitely originating inside this ship. Try to pinpoint the source, Lieutenant. The captain is in Mr. Spock's cabin. Better let him know, too.
Bridge to Captain Kirk.
Uhura. Jim, you wanted to see what in the devil? Get back, Bones! Such violence really was not necessary, Captain. I told you, it was my desire to talk. Fine. Now we'll talk on my terms. Bones, see what you can do for our Mr. Spock. Our? Will somebody tell me what's going on? Our uninvited guest is the best one to do that, Doctor. Starting with why he's here. I am here, Captain, because I took your advice. You recall your last moments in my universe. You have 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
For that time, I have something to say. How long before the Hulkan prediction of galactic revolt is realized?
Approximately 240 years.
The inevitable outcome?
The Empire shall be overthrown, of course.
The illogic of waste, Mr. Spock. The waste of lives, potential, resources, time. I submit to you that your empire is illogical because it cannot endure. I submit that you are illogical. To be a willing change is inevitable, predictable, beneficial. Doesn't logic demand that you be a part of it?
One man cannot summon the future.
But one man can change the present. Be the captain of this enterprise, Mr. Spock. Find a logical reason for sparing the Hulkans and make it stick. Push till it gives. You can defend yourself better than any man in the fleet.
The man must also have the power.
In my cabin is a device that will make you invincible.
Indeed.
What will it be? Past or future? Tyranny or freedom? It's up to you.
Captain Kirk, I shall consider it.
And with those words, I sent the four of you back to your own universe, believing that would be the last I would ever see of any of you. You faded. The four I knew appeared, and I was instantly reminded of why your points had seemed so logical. Spock, what went wrong with the transporter? Whoever was responsible, I want them in the booth. Now! There was no human error, Captain. The exchange was entirely an effect of the ion storm. Exchange. Then what that other version of you was babbling. Yes, Captain, a coincidence of truly staggering proportions occurred. You and the other members of your landing party were beaming back to the ship at precisely the same moment as your counterparts in a parallel universe. Nearly identical ion storms at the same time in both universes caused the transporter to malfunction. You were transposed with your doubles, as you have now been again. This time, artificially. It all sounds ridiculous to me. But I was there. I saw it with my own eyes. Very well. I will want a full report on the bridge in 1 hour.
Kirk.
McCoy, you'd better make sure we didn't catch anything. Yes, sir. For a moment, I really had forgotten. The other Kirk was so different. I felt genuine sympathy for Lieutenant Moreau. As the captain's woman, she had held a place of special prestige aboard the ship, and I had long suspected the emotions she experienced toward Kirk were real.
But her present circumstance did not figure in what would shape my actions in the next hour. Until, well, what, Lieutenant? Well, are you going to do what the other Kirk said? Are you going to make yourself captain of the Enterprise? Are you going to change the future? I have spent the past hour taking certain steps in that direction. But why should those steps include you, Lieutenant? You have been the captain's woman. But my impression is that that is a condition which is not likely to persist. Did you tell our captain what the other Kirk said? Did you hope that by a betrayal of me you might once again curry Kirk's favor? That sun has set, Commander. With just a few words, the other Kirk painted a picture of a world such as I had never dared imagine. A world where a woman like me could have all she desired without having to barter her body for it. But there is, of course, one way by which I can be absolutely certain. But as I delved into the mind of Marlena Moreau, you must believe me.
Believe you? You were exchanged with your counterpart from a parallel universe, and it was this other Kirk who disobeyed Imperial orders to destroy the Hulkans if they did not surrender their dilithium crystals. Kirk, are you listening to yourself?
Uhura, you were there. Tell the Admiral what happened.
I'm sure I don't know what you mean, Captain. There was a moment of dizziness, as if I didn't know where I was, and then we were all in the transporter room.
What? You know that's not true. I order you. Tell Admiral Mendez what happened.
But that's exactly what I just did, Captain.
Tell him, or I'll swear I'll throw you in the booth myself.
Kirk, stop. Security, seize him.
Come along quietly now, Captain. No! All of them! Traitorous dogs! I'll see you all burn in hell. Kirk's next actions were captured by the security cameras. Mendez unintentionally gave Kirk a few extra minutes by ordering no alarm be raised. He wanted Kirk taken alive, not assassinated by some aggrieved crewman who saw his chance. That gave Kirk the time he needed to get to the Tantalus device hidden in his cabin. A device about which you had told me.
Scott, Spock was right. Starfleet didn't buy Kirk's story of what happened to us.
If we don't back him, like Spock said, this is our chance to eliminate the captain.
At that moment, Kirk must have believed himself invincible. He began a swift campaign of revenge on those who had betrayed him.